Morning guys, Chad here at the farm. Welcome back. Today I'm going to go through the complete unboxing of my new sawmill. It's by Woodland Mills, HM136MAX Portable Sawmill. And then we're going to assemble the entire track along with the extension piece. I got a bunch of other stuff with it too. I got the tooth setter, I got the blade sharpener, I got this extra extension so that it can go from 10-foot logs to 16-foot logs. It's a monster. So I figured I'm going to do this straight from scratch so that people who are anticipating the delivery of their own sawmill can see how it arrives, how they need to unpack it. And this particular spot right here is where I need to build some kind of a stand for the sawmill. I did not order the trailer. Don't think I want to be maneuvering my sawmill around the property or to other property, so I'm going to stick right here and I'm going to bring all my stuff here. That's my workshop, that's my firewood splitting area, so it's kind of all right here. This is going to be the new wood yard, but I didn't want to just go ahead and make the piers out of concrete without knowing where the feet are on the rails, because I want to make sure I put the cement piers right directly underneath the feet if possible. Now they do package it pretty hardcore. You see all this black stuff here? That's like steel, like, very protective because it's an expensive piece, so you don't want this to get damaged during shipping. I think Woodland Mills has done a great job in packaging this up to protect it during delivery. They got a big long skid under the bottom, so you can just move it with some forks on your tractor or some kind of machinery. You wouldn't be able to pick it up yourself, that's for sure. And they managed to get the whole delivery in this one box, except for the extra add-ons that I ordered, which is the extra track and the tooth setter and the blade sharpener. So this is gonna be fun. This here's the extension piece that allows you to do the 16-foot logs. This is how it comes packed. Seems to me that it's very well packaged for shipping. They got this metal kind of frame here that kind of protects it all from getting crushed. You guys gonna help me do this mill? Are you gonna help me? You wanna hold my tools? Looks like they have a second spot for the engine. So that's pretty, ooh, there's the gas tank. I guess this big box right here is going to be the engine, which I don't need right now, but let's just take a quick look at it. Oh, okay, it's all nicely packaged. It's got these to pick it up. I guess these are lifting straps. That's cool. Very cool. There's a bunch of goodies right here, a bunch of goodies right here. I guess I can't get this off until I remove this. I have no idea if I need to use that metal during assembly, so I'm just going to put it aside. One of the first things I'm trying to do right now is discover where exactly is the instruction manual. Man, look how they got it all packaged. It's so neat and well thought out. But at first glance, I don't see the instruction manual. I guess I'll have to open all this stuff up to try to find it. Let's take a look in here for the manual. This looks too long to be the manual though. Oh man, there's another. Ooh. Ooh. No, I don't see the manual. What's in here? Ooh, what is that? That looks like a muffler. Okay, keep that separate. Okay, let's see what's this. Ooh, this is like all the parts, like everything. Oh man, look at the size of those. Those are wheels, I guess. Maybe this is just the parts box, all the nuts and bolts and screws and everything. Ooh, they got everything labeled. Look at that. That's nice. Oh, that label's inside out. Might have to push these around a little bit to try to see the label, because the label should be on this side. But anyways, I'm sure it can slide around. See, that's pretty good that they labeled it. I want to make sure to keep all these things together because I don't need this stuff right this second. I need to know what is the first thing that I do. So I need that manual. Really, they should have the manual sitting right on top so that when you open the package, the manual's right there. Maybe it's in here. That's light. That's light as a feather, whatever's in there, but it's not a manual. Ooh, that's heavy. I'm not going to be assembling the whole thing today. What I read on their website is this basically takes an entire day of assembly, you know, for like the normal layman type person. Oh, what's that label right there? Let's take this off. Oh, what does that say? Product manual can be found inside the manual tube right in here. Oh yeah. Look how thick it is. Again, this is like a very substantial assembly manual, and they do a really good job of protecting it. They even give you a little Woodland Mill sticker. There she is, people. Right there. So it's like a ring binder. And then they give you a little pamphlet, catalog type thing in case you want to order more stuff. I think I've ordered everything I need for this sawmill. So, okay, well, I'm going to figure out what to do first to get the track and that all assembled, and I can get the feet on. It looks like a pretty sophisticated manual assembly. It's got all the parts list, assembly, tools, track, rails and bunk. That's what I want. I want to figure out how to do that. That's on page 30. Let's go to page 30. Look at this. This is all of the different parts, part numbers, how many pieces you got of each. I don't know. I'm impressed with the manual alone. Here's page 30. This is what we'll need for the track, and then rails and center bunk. Okay, this is where we're going to start. Looks like I need large timbers or blocks for ease of assembly. So they want it 4 to 6 inches off the ground. Now I ordered some 6x6s, and I'm going to be using those to build the stand. So I could probably just use those for now and build up the track. And then once the track is built, then I'll know exactly where I'm going to be putting the concrete piers. That's the plan. I wonder if I can just slide everything out. Holy jumping. You gotta be a Hulk. Ah. bunks are really nice. They got this stainless steel covers on them, so it's good for wear and tear and for ease of movement of the logs. You put the two rails end to end, you put a bunk over top, and then you need to put this plate underneath and these bolts with these nuts, and that'll secure the rails in the center here. Now it says you got to line up the two rails end to end, and there's a plate that you install underneath. These are the plates. Look how thick these plates are. Solid, solid. I just have a 5/8 wrench. I'm just trying to grab the bolt underneath. And then I got a 9/16 socket just to tighten it up. But I'm not going to tighten it up all the way because the manual says you have some other adjustments to do. So you just got to get it snug, and then you'll be able to continue on. And once you get them all done, I guess that's when you tighten them all up. The bunks, according to the manual, has these things. I guess that's where the rod goes, like a log stop. You push your log up against it. So you got to make sure that all those are on the same side, obviously. So at this point in the game, I have the main track assembled and I have the end bunk installed. The end bunk doesn't have the stainless steel covering, and then you got three with the stainless steel covering. But you're supposed to put another end bunk on the end, but I got the extension kit, which it doesn't necessarily say that in the manual, that don't put that end bunk on yet, because it's basically telling you to put the end bunk on. But I got the extension kit, so you don't put the end bunk on until the end of the extension kit. So I got two bunks that came with the extension kit that have the stainless steel covering. So that's how you're going to join up the two extra 6-foot sections of track. Starting to look like a good base though, eh? These plates right here, this is what attaches the two section of track and makes it strong. But it's a little bit cumbersome to put it on, obviously, when you're working alone. I'm too lazy to go get a clamp. Once you get the first two on, you're fine. See, now at least it's sitting there. And they're lock nuts too, so they're not going to come off that easily. See the little rubber thing inside? Those are the little vinyl that's going to tighten it up nice. Now, because I'm working on the outside of the track, I just use this little wrench, and then I'm putting that on, and then I have an extension piece on my ratchet here, and then that's what I use. Now, my extension piece is a bit too long because it's difficult to kind of get in here, so you can see it's on a little bit of an angle, but it's going to work. I suppose I could use like an impact wrench, you know, my Milwaukee, but I'm trying to be very careful, you know. I don't want to bend any of the metal. I don't want to chip any of the powder coat. This is very, very expensive, and I'm trying to take care of it as best as I can before I even get to use it. That's why I'm just using the ratchet, taking my time, taking some deep breaths, and have a lot of patience because this is a very complicated assembly. This here that I'm screwing in is the log stop holder. I guess it just holds the log stops at different heights for you, and you tighten it up as needed. Now the next thing we have to do is to square up all of the bunks and make sure that the outside edge of the rail to that outside edge of the rail is 45¼ inches. Now it's telling you to square it using the measurement from corner to corner, and then from corner to corner, and then you start tightening from the center and work your way this way, and then work your way outward that way. And of course you can make sure that each bunk is 90 degrees to the rail. Okay, this is going to take some time. Okay, I can see what they mean there. It's just a little bit too wide. It's got to move in. Okay, let's check for square up there. Wow, there's a gap. So you can tell that it's not quite square. Okay, that's pretty much exactly 45¼ Let's check the square. Nice and tight. Nice and tight, looking good. So it's time to assemble these feet. You got these disc things and you got these huge bolts, and they go in underneath. That way when it sits flat, the head's not touching. But they want you to put one of these nuts all the way down to the base. And I mean, I've done a couple of these already, and I can only get it so far. You know, like this is loose. Like I can just tighten it with my fingers, not a problem. But the other ones that I did, I can only go so far, and then I need to get a wrench out. It's like it's not threaded right. See, look, it's already tight. It shouldn't be tight. It should just hand tighten. I can't even do it. So maybe it's just some little imperfections in the threading. Not a big deal, I guess. But you need to set up like 16 of these things first. That's how it should look like when they're done. Took me quite a long time. I got 16 of these suckers. And this is going to end up going up under here, and then one more nut will hold it, and then it'll have a little bit of an adjustment. Next is putting on this anti-tip hardware. Diagram shows you pretty clearly how to put it on, and there's 32 nuts and bolts. So let me get to it. I'm just hand tightening all these guys for now. I'll come back once I get all the nuts and bolts in with the impact gun, and I'll just give it a little tighten. There's these little things. They're the roller stops, I guess, so that the cutting head doesn't just roll right off the rails. And it sits right on the end, like so. There we go. It just sits like that, so I guess when the thing is rolling on this, boom, it can't fall off the edge. I'm not going to tighten them up right now. I'm just going to leave this as is, and I'll be able to adjust this later. Next on the list here is to do the log clamps. But I'm not going to do the log clamps right now, because what I'm going to do is get this whole rig thing set up in position so that I can actually know 100% where to put the footing. Maybe it's overkill, I don't know. But I feel like I want to have a footing right there for sure. There. So this entire thing here is like 19 feet long. So you figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 piers on the one side. So you're talking 14 posts. I got to cement in the ground, but I'm going to save that for the next episode. So stay tuned if you're interested. And I appreciate you watching. Okay, thanks.